Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, and today I'll be reading a Zhongli Listener by me. So let's get into it. The harbor sparkled with life and color, the night illuminated by countless glowing lanterns drifting into the sky. The streets buzzed with laughter, the scents of sweet osmanthus wine, and freshly grilled skewers filling the air. The Lantern Rite festival was in full swing, and you stood at the harbor's edge, hand in hand strongly, as you marveled at the vibrant scene. "It's beautiful," you murmured, your eyes following a particularly large lantern as it ascended, its soft golden glow disappearing into the star-strewn sky. "It is," Zhongli agreed, his voice deep and steady, but when he turned to look at him, he realized his gaze was not on the lanterns or the bustling crowd. It was on you. "What?" you asked, your cheeks warming under his intense yet tender stare. He smiled, the corners of his golden eyes crinkling slightly. "I was merely thinking that no lantern, no matter how grand, could compare to the light that you bring to my life." He laughed softly, nudging his shoulder. "You're such a romantic, you know that?" "Perhaps, but my words are sincere," he said, with a slight tilt of his head, a faint smile still gracing his lips. And you leaned into him, resting your head against his shoulder. The warm weight of his arm encircled you, pulling you closer as the sound of fireworks crackled in the distance. "Did you celebrate Lantern Rite like this? When you were, you know?" he asked hesitantly, trailing off as you glanced at him. His gaze turned contemplative, his numb eyelid brushing over your hand. "As Rex Lapis, yes. The Lantern Rite has always been a time of reflection and gratitude. In those days, I would watch from Jian Karst, ensuring the harbor's safety from afar." He hummed thoughtfully. "It must feel strange, watching the festival like this now, amongst everyone." "Strange, perhaps. But it is a welcome change. To stand here, amidst the people, with you by my side, it is a privilege I treasure," he admitted, and you smiled, your heart swelling at his words. "I'm glad we can share this together." He glanced down at you, his expression softening further. "Would you like to light a lantern of your own?" Your eyes lit up. "Really? I thought we'd just watch." Zhongli shook his head, a rare hint of playfulness in his tone. "The lantern rite is meant to be experienced, not merely observed. Come." He led you to a nearby stall, where paper lanterns were meticulously arranged, their delicate surfaces waiting to carry wishes into the night sky. The vendor greeted Zhongli with a warm smile, clearly recognizing him. "Ah, Mr. Zhongli, it's good to see you. And who might this lovely companion be?" You felt your cheeks heat up as Zhongli replied, his voice steady and proud, as a dragon would be of their treasure. "This is my beloved." The vendor beamed, handing over a lantern and a brush. "A couple's lantern. How romantic. Write your wish together, then, and it may just come true." Zhongli guided you to a quieter corner, the lantern balanced carefully in his hands. "What shall you wish for?" he asked, tilting his head towards you. And you thought for a moment, then smiled. "Maybe something simple. Happiness. For us and for everyone." He nodded approvingly. "A noble wish." You each took turns writing on the mountain surface, your brush strokes careful and deliberate. When the ink dried, Zhongli lit the small candle inside, his hands steady and practiced. "Ready?" he asked, his voice low and warm. "Ready," he replied, your hands brushing against his as you held the lantern together. And so, with a gentle push, you released it into the air, watching as it floated upward, its soft glow joining the countless others in the night sky. Your heart swelled with a mix of hope and contentment. The moment made all the more special by the man at your side. "It's perfect," he whispered, your gaze fixed on the lantern until it disappeared into the distance. "It is. Much like this night, and much like you," he agreed, his voice held with a quiet reverence. You turned to him, her chest tightening at the sincerity in his eyes. "You really are a romantic," he teased softly, although your voice carried no heat. And he chuckled, his hand reaching out to brush a strand of hair from your face. "And you are the reason for it." For a moment, the world seemed to fade away. The bustling crowd, the glowing lanterns, even the fireworks, they all became a distant hum as Zhongli leaned down, his lips brushing softly against yours. The kiss was tender and unhurried, his hand cupping your cheek as if to hold you steady in the moment. And when you pulled away, you rested your forehead against his, your voice barely above a whisper. "Thank you for everything." He smiled, his golden eyes filled with unspoken promises. "The gratitude is mine. To share this life, this night, your wish, to be with you. It is more than I ever dared to hope for." And despite being an Archon, someone who had the world at their feet, he was being actually sincere. Love, after all, was something power could never guarantee. And as the festival continued around you, you stayed close to him, your hands entwined and your hearts full, because this was your first lantern ride together, and it would be a memory that you would return to, no matter how many years come to pass.